This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, November 14th of 2025. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. We'll have the closing markets with Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net here soon, including an analysis of that WASDE report. But first, I'm going to wrap up that conversation that I started earlier this week with Ruth Rabinowitz. She is the 2025 Farmland Owner Legacy Award winner from the Practical Farmers of Iowa. Absolutely, and I appreciate that you touched on the relationships there with the hunters, and I'm also thinking on the farmer side as well. In those situations, what is that relationship like? And I know as well that there's kind of a side of it too of promoting the next generation to be able to get into the industry, right?
I guess some people would have a lease where maybe the farmer would also be the hunter, but my lease provisions are clearly no mineral rights, no artifact collection, no hunting rights, really spelled out. And so deer really and other animals really do go after the crop. And so as you control that population, it's actually better for the farmer. And I've also heard things where the antlers fall, and if someone isn't shed hunting and picking those up for their collection, those can go right into the tires and cause many, many hundreds, if not thousands of dollars worth of damage to big equipment tires. That I know that's actually happened on my farms before I did hunting leases. So not that every single shed antler is going to get picked up, but your chances of having those situations are a lot slimmer. So I mean, it's just when you're in farming, the profits are pretty slim, as we know. I mean, our commodities are down. Thankfully, China's coming back to buy things again. And so having additional income streams of conservation, CRP, the hunting lease, these are the things that you can, put together in a patchwork to not just, it's all about the tillable. It's all about corn and soybeans. So I think it's a good idea.
So when it comes to what it is that exactly you do and that, managing that land, do you have a message out there for people who are maybe getting into that or are inheriting land and are trying to figure out maybe exactly what they want to do with it?
Yeah, there's tremendous resources of groups in Iowa. I'll just name a few. Of course, Practical Farmers of Iowa. They're the one that gave me the award. Amazing community of people, amazing field days, conferences, Zoom trainings, cover crop, cost share assistance. So I give them the acres every year that I have cover crops. I have cover crops pretty much 100% on all my farms. So the corn and soybeans get harvested. Then there's either a fly on with an aerial airplane or a drill goes through and plants typically rye, cereal rye, sometimes radish as well. Additionally, hopefully in the future, camelina. There's Women Food Agriculture Network. If you're a female landowner getting land, buying land, inheriting land, it's a great resource. Women own or co-own half the land in Iowa. People don't know that, but it's true. So women do have a lot of say in what's happening on the landscape in Iowa. Climate Land Leaders, I'm a member there. We are landowners in the Midwest, very concerned about the climate and severe storms, severe rains, droughts, things like that. We do a lot of retreats and Zooms together and readings together to cross-pollinate and help each other out as landowners. And places like Pheasants Forever, they've done prescribed burns for me. They've done seeding plans and sold me seed. They did a riparian design of my riparian buffer and of trees and shrubs that were all Iowa natives, as well as a windbreak of conifers and oaks. So they can help a lot. They can do a precision ag where they look at your farm, you look at the maps, they may walk the farm with you, and they'll say, this area is really not the best soil. Why are you farming this? Or let's think about other ideas. And they might say, let's put that in conservation. And all of a sudden your yield on the entire property is going to go way up because you're not averaging in acres and acres of soil that probably shouldn't be farmed. So I would say I was pretty blown away as someone from California coming into Iowa and just realizing how many groups are out there to help you understand what's going on with your farm. So don't live in a silo or vacuum. Really get involved, get on their email list, become a member of these organizations, and you will be very thankful because there's a lot of good education out there.
Thanks again to Ruth Rabinowitz for joining us on the show, and congrats again to Ruth for winning that award from the Practical Farmers of Iowa this year. We'll go ahead and take a look at the closing markets with Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. Caden, we saw that November WASDE report today. How did it impact the grains?
Yeah, certainly an interesting one. This is our first look at some supply demand data from USDA, and over 2 months, obviously with the shutdown, pretty highly anticipated a report today. And I think the market overall was looking for a pretty good cut on both corn and bean yields, and got a bit of a cut, just not really enough to satisfy the market, obviously. So if you're just looking at the close, it certainly looks ugly with corn and beans both down double digits. Corn down about 11 and beans down a little over 20. Like I said, we did see a bit of a cut, like 0.7 of a bushel on corn, about half a bushel on beans. Market just wanted more than that, didn't get it today. We'll continue to move forward, but for now, those are the numbers we've got.
And with that market reaction, of course, pretty negative in the grain side of things. It does feel like, though, that the markets are ready to just kind of digest this report and move on. Is that the sentiment you're seeing right now?
I mean, it kind of is, I've been telling people the kind of the nice part of not having any government reports is, we're basically just looking at price action. We don't really have fundamental data to feel like we have an idea what the market should do, even though we're often wrong. But price action over the last 2-3 weeks, and especially, culminating in this week, pretty hard to ignore. That feels like this market wants to move higher, assuming that it, kind of continues to get conditions to do so. But sure feels like there's money wanting to come into it, and that's certainly a good thing for farmers moving forward. Like you said, I think you kind of digest this report over the weekend, maybe into Monday a bit, and then kind of maybe continue to look onward and upward. So this thing in the grand picture may not be all bad, and kind of giving the market a bit of a pullback, a bit of a rest before we continue moving higher.
And then over on the livestock side of things, I know, of course, the focus mostly on the grains today, but cattle and hogs had their own things to react to, right?
Yeah, I mean, plenty of volatility in the grains that everybody was tied up with, but the cattle for sure had their own volatility to deal with, which is obviously the same thing that we've been saying over the last month. But feeders on the day closing, depending on the month, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 off the lows. Pretty big reversal there to close green a couple bucks. Fat cattle up as well, and hogs even up about 40-50 cents this morning or today at the close as well. So pretty nice reversal here to the end of the week. I'm not even going to pretend I know what's going on in the cattle complex, just extremely volatile overall. But, at least today we, went down, tested some lows and closed stronger. So it's certainly a good thing going into the weekend.
All right, Caden, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with the agmarket.net team, how can they do that?
Yes, sir. Just go to our website at agmarket.net, and you can get a free trial of everything that we do there, as well as sign up for the conference in Nashville coming up first weekend in February. It's a big hit. Got a big crowd coming again, expecting. So be sure to get there, get signed up. It's going to be a good time.
All right, Caden, thanks again for the analysis as always, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, sounds good, man. Appreciate you guys.
That again was Kaden Sweeney of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. At the close, December corn up 2.5 at 4.29 3/4. January soybeans up 13 even at 11.30 even. December soybean meal up 2.90 at 3.20 even. Soybean oil up 90 cents at 50.58. Chicago wheat up 8 even at 5.35 3/4. Kansas City hard red winter wheat up 7 3/4 at 5.27 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 6 1/4 at 5.64 1/4. December oats up 6 1/4 at 2.98 even. On the Merc, December live cattle up 7.20 at 228.55. November feeders limit up 9.25 at 335.65.
December lean hogs up 337 at 82.77. Pork cutout went unchanged at 95 even, and November Class 3 milk up 7 cents at 17.27.
That's been a check in the markets here on Ag Matters PM. That also brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our ag news content on our website at iowaagnet.com. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.